This is a good example of a video that I really have no purpose for and just kind of see where it goes as I'm making it. What started out as a quest to catch CP-253 that had a CSX locomotive second in line turned into a 2-day project seeing what I could see outside of the Metra rush hour. Fueled mainly by something, but I won't get into what that is right away. I hadn't been out shooting trains for a little while, so I was looking for any excuse to go out. CP-253 hadn't been much of anything noteworthy for a while, but I finally heard it running with a CSX trailer behind the main CP power, so I headed down to Schaumburg. I wanted to try and catch Metra 2221 ahead of it, but I was late and it pulled into the station as I was walking along the platform. I wasn't the only rail fan there today, as it was a nice, very early fall day. Not too long after I set up, and 253 rolls through the station. Note that I recently got a new tripod and I'm still trying to figure it out, so if anything looks funky, I'll just blame it. After 253 clears, I wait for inbound Metra 2242 that shouldn't be too far on the other side of 253.
Westbound freight, Metra 2242, over.
2242,
Oh yeah, we just went through Schaumburg. What's your location, over?
Stop at Bartlett.
The Bartlett, alright. We okay to keep moving through Hanover Park, over?
Alright, sounds good. See you in a minute.
Alright, we're gonna keep rolling through Hanover Park, thanks, over.
Roger that.
The wind is picking up and the motion stabilization is having to work overtime here on these long zooms. 2242 passes, and I head home, not really knowing what I was going to do with the video I got. Maybe some good grab bag fodder, I guess. Move ahead to the following day. I was at my computer with the Northern Illinois Railroad's radio stream playing on my computer. I can't usually hear anything from the Chicago sub from home, except occasionally the CP Iowa dispatcher on the Pingree Grove Tower, but I hear something interesting. CSX 422 verifying a couple warrants with the CP Iowa dispatcher. I know from a Facebook heads-up group I'm in that this power set left Nahant Yard in Davenport last night on 252, but 252 normally makes it into the area sometime around 3 to 4 in the morning. When confirming the warrants, I heard it confirmed. This was 252-22. I have no idea why it was so late, but I just had to catch it in the daylight. So back to Schaumburg I went. I had no way of knowing where 252 was other than listening to the stream. Once it makes it to the CTC-controlled Elgin sub, it would need to report clear of its 2 track warrants on the Chicago sub, but until then I'd just shoot whatever happened to roll through Schaumburg and keep an ear out. There won't be much Metra traffic in the middle of the day, so there will be quite a bit of downtime, but again, I really have no way of knowing how long before 252 arrives. I get to the station about 12:30 p.m. on a cool first full day of fall. First up is inbound Metra 2236. It rolls around the corner at Hanover Park and eventually makes it all the way to Schaumburg about 12:45 p.m. Nothing really notable about this one. It'll have a clear once it gets here. After it leaves, I watch the signal here closely. There isn't another eastbound Metra for 2 more hours, so the next signal east, Roselle West, shouldn't have anything lined through it, and this signal should stay at approach. It doesn't though, meaning something is out there to the west. I've still heard nothing out of 252, and next up is Metra 2217, about a minute late at 1:23 p.m. Because of my normal timing here with 253, it's nice to get something in pull mode, but otherwise, just another Metro run. There's not another Metra for a little over an hour, so I head back to the truck, which has better radio in it. I've heard nothing on the stream or on my portable radio, so I still have no idea where 252 is. I also forgot to charge my camera, so I plug it in for a bit. Not too long after I, number one, realize I can hear the Pingree Grove dispatch tower from the Schaumburg station on my truck radio, and two, hear 252 clearing their Chicago sub warrants.
Yeah, Pingree Grove Tower.
XT 422 East, like to report clear at 2516-2516, your time, over.
CSXT 422 ECAXT. Clear track warrant 2516-2516 at 331333 SDK, is that correct?
331333 on the release of 2516-2516, NBK, Matai, over.
That's all correct, Matai, over.
Although I was looking forward to sitting down for a bit, I walked back and set back up. 252 rolls around the corner at Hanover Park, and there's just something very odd about this. Like, there shouldn't be a freight coming from that direction this time of day, at least not a manifest, but here we are. The yellow nose of the CSX unit really stands out. 2 CSX locomotives lead a BNSF on this giant 252 at full track speed at about 1:45 p.m. I had a decision to make. I heard earlier out of Bensonville Yard's mechanical department that the power for 253 was another CSX locomotive followed by a Norfolk Southern. I also could just go home and stick with what I've got, since I actually got what I came for. I ultimately decided to stick it out and give it until 4 p.m. If 253 leaves Bensonville on time, then it should be no problem to catch it. After another extended break, which I spent listening to the radio in the truck and charging the video camera some more, I head back and get ready for outbound Metra 2219. It pops around the corner and... hey, a Heritage unit! 405 has been on this channel before, but not in pull mode. Definitely a nice surprise. Next up is the inbound I normally take when I'm taking Amtrak, 2240 at 2:33 p.m. Again, just a normal Metra run, not really much to say here. As expected, 253 calls Tower B17 right about 3 p.m. with their totals.
253, Tower B17 over.
CB Tower B17 over.
253, new arrival, I got some totals over.
Alright, go ahead, those totals over.
Leader CSX 3307, 3307. NS Norfolk Southern 9577. 39 loads, 83 empties. 8,137 tons. 74, 85 length. Marker is the CPT 39277 over.
Are you guys ready to go over?
Be ready to go in about 5 minutes, and we are a key train over.
Let me know when you're all ready. Over.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, CB Tower B17 out.
It'll run, as per usual, after 2240 and 2221 pass. And here comes 2221 with a bit of an odd report.
2221 to B17 over.
Someone calling CB Tower B17 over.
Yeah, that's 2221. Milepost 24.6. That's the one name. There's a lady sleeping by the track.
Alright, you said milepost 24.6. Right next to one main, there's a lady sleeping on the tracks over. Or by the tracks.
Yeah, by the track. She has a pillow and her water bottle with her.
Alright, do you have a description of her over?
Looks like a female with a white shirt on. That's all I saw when it went by. Blonde hair. Blondish gray hair. Right next to the gas station. That's right there.
Okay, I'll give Metra PD a call. CB Tower B17 out.
It's also a few more minutes late. This is the train I always want to catch ahead of 253, but never have. Also, 253 apparently isn't sure if they're ready to go or not because they may have a bad order car, a car that needs some kind of repair.
City Alternate Dispatcher 253 CSXT 3307.
All right,
And you have to set out a bad order now?
I have no idea. They just told me we might have one. I don't know.
They end up just taking it with them.
We're taking it, Elgin.
Alright, call when you're ready.
Will do.
I know it'll be close whether 253 or inbound Metro 2242 gets here first, so I set up on the main 2 side. I don't like shooting on the same side as a train, but I'd rather get wind from a Metra that is still speeding up than a freight at track speed. Sure enough, first up is 2242 a couple minutes early.
Milwaukee West train number 2242 to Chicago Union Station is now arriving. Please step behind the yellow line. Milwaukee West train number 2242 to Chicago Union Station is now arriving. Please step behind the yellow line.
And of course, this is where I find out where the freight is, and I would have had enough time to cross. Oh well.
South Freight 22, Metro 2242 location.
Leaving Schaumburg.
Miss Schaumburg, coming down into Medina now.
Just keep rolling, I'll work around you guys.
Thank you.
And hey, there's the Milwaukee Road Heritage Unit again. And finally, we have CP-253. It has a clear westbound on Main 1, while Main 2 is at advance approach towards the city. It later improves to clear. And that was the end of my day. Turns out if I could have waited another hour or so, I would have had an eastbound CP 546 crude oil loads, led by a KCS AC 4400. But my camera battery was almost dead, I was tired and cold, and I needed to get something to eat, so I headed out. Sometimes you just get lucky. This was one of those days. If I hadn't pulled up the audio stream, I never would have known that 252 was running super late, and I still wouldn't have any eastbound freight pictures. I'm certainly glad I did, though. I anticipate if the CP-KCS merger goes through that there may be a regular eastbound freight or two placed into that 2-hour slot that 252 filled. What that is, I don't know, but with freight curfews during rush hours and only so much time available overnight, they've got to put something during the day. That makes the most sense, but only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Likes help me to know what kind of videos you all want to see here, and you can also follow me on Instagram and read the blog. Links are in the video description. Until next time, stay safe, happy fall, and thank you for watching the Northeastern Illinois Railfan YouTube channel.